to Yin practice. Yin is such a wonderful way to really connect inward, which I think the world is kind of drawing us to do. But it's also really great if you're feeling anxious or stressed or even depleted. Yin is a wonderful way to help restore us. And what we do is we get into deeper postures. We hold them for a little longer, 3 to 5 minutes each. And it really gets into that deep connective tissue, releasing those really tight, deep areas in our body. So just a couple things to remember. As we move into our postures, we will move to the point where you begin to feel resistance, that edge of sensation. And we'll use a lot of props, so hopefully you have lots of pillows and blankets and your blocks or book blocks, whatever you have handy. Better to have too many than too little here. And then we connect with our breath. So we really get into that sensation of our breathing, letting our breath go deep, and then exhaling completely. And we just allow the body to release and soften. It opens up and invites us to go deeper. So we're really listening and really tuning into our body's voice here. Always remember, as we move deeper into the practice, it's all about no forcing, just feeling. So I hope you enjoy this. We're going to get started today. Our first posture will be heart bench. So choices here, using some blocks. And again, if you have book blocks, please have either a blanket or a towel to put over the blocks so that they're not super hard on the back. And we set the blocks up in a little T here, which we will lean back on. If you don't have blocks, you can use rolled towels. I have a bolster here, but you can certainly use rolled towels. You can use rolled blankets. Try not to use a comforter as they're too mushy. We want something with a little substance here. So whichever you've chosen to do, we're just going to lay it lengthwise, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to lay on back. So if the neck's a little cranky, you can certainly use a little neck roll. I like to use them. It keeps that curve of the neck a little supported here. So choices for your legs, they can be out straight, knees bent. You can even open up the knees if that feels good. So we're just going to allow the front of the chest to just fan open here. Let the shoulders melt back and let the arms rest by your sides, feeling comfortable enough to go ahead and close your eyes here. So we're going to take a nice big breath in. And we're going to open the mouth and exhale. We're going to let it go. It might be helpful here to take a few more deep breaths just to help your body settle in. So breathe in nice and deep. Take it as deep into the belly as you can. And then allow your exhale to pour out of you and empty out. Maybe pressing the navel to spine to really squeeze the stale air out. Lay back and just start to notice if you can find that release. Softening the muscles in your face. Let the shoulders relax back here. Feel the hips start to soften and let go of gripping and holding, and feeling the back of the pelvis muscles there, or the bones in the back of the pelvis get heavy. Maybe straightening the legs out here, letting the legs get heavy as well. Whatever option you've taken with your legs, try to let go of the holding. Just let them relax. And come into your breath. Bring your awareness into the sensation of your breathing. Feel the cool air in the nose and the nostrils as you breathe in. Feel the warmth of the air as it exits the nostrils. We spend much of our time in yin, in silence. So I will be giving you that space of silence today. A gentle reminder that the mind will wander, and know that that's okay. That's its job. But when you become aware of the wandering, just simply notice. Know that that's okay. Maybe give yourself a smile. And then using your breath, use the inhale as a tether to draw your awareness back into the body, into this moment. And then exhale and re-soften yourself. Go ahead and take about 3 more nice deep breaths here. Always remembering as we transition out of our yin postures, it's vital that we move slow and mindfully. So we'll first, wherever you are, if your knees are not already bent, please bring the knees up. And you have a couple options here. You can either roll off if you're on a bolster, if that's something that you feel is the path of least resistance for you, or you can gently draw the chin towards the chest, bring the forearms to the floor and press, and come on up and find seated posture here for a moment. Just rest here, maybe with your eyes closed, and just breathe normal. We usually just take a few moments in between each posture just to allow the body to reset for a moment. And I also invite you here, if it feels good, to maybe just start to make a little sway movements. Remember, we're not looking for intense, rigorous movement here, but sometimes it feels good to maybe just a gentle twist side to side, maybe circling the heart, or maybe just taking a very gentle little side stretch on each side before we move on. And again here, just follow your intuition. Remember, our voice of our heart always tells us the truth. Our body is full of immense infinite wisdom, and that's what we're here to do, is connect to that place. So our next posture is we're going to be moving into a wide leg child's pose. So we're going to get a blanket here, and we're going to put the blanket out on the mat for cushion to bring comfort under those knees. We're going to take the knees wider, and we're going to bring the big toes back towards one another. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to melt ourselves down into this wide leg child's pose, bringing the hips down closer towards the heels. If you have knees that are a little cranky, you can always take a rolled blanket or towel and put them right here in the back of the knee as extra cushion to help support you back there. And then we're just going to reach the arms out long here. We're going to melt the forehead down. If the forehead does not come all the way to the floor, here again, props. Maybe we grab a block, maybe we use a bolster here to support yourself. We're only going to be here for about a minute or two for this child's pose. So wherever you are, just let that forehead melt. Take a breath in here. We're going to take this big breath, that big belly breath into the ribs, up into the back body. And as you exhale, let the tummy melt between the thighs. Let the heart and forehead descend down towards the floor. And just find your breath here. Slow, steady, inhale. And a full, complete exhale. Take another couple breaths here. And then lifting the forehead up. We're going to go ahead and glide ourselves forward until the hips become level with the knees. We're going to add a little twist here into our child's pose. So we're going to take the right arm first, and we're just going to go ahead and thread it underneath that left arm out to the left side of the mat. Lower that right shoulder and the right side of the head down to the floor. Again, here maybe using a towel if you want some extra cushion underneath. You can walk this other left arm out. And we're going to just settle in here to just nice twisted child's pose. Maybe the forearm rests down, or maybe you stay a little more active. That's up to you. Take a big breath in. And exhale. Let the torso melt down and let the weight of the body do the work. Find that connection to the breath. Allow that left shoulder to soften down. Breathe into the space between your shoulder blades. Take about 3 more breaths here. Allow the left hand to come in front of your face. Again, slow, mindful, pressing up, unwinding. Maybe let that shoulder roll slowly. Notice the difference you may feel now between those 2 shoulders. And then we'll take the left arm and we're going to thread it under through that right. Once again, lowering down, shoulder onto floor. The left temple resting down. Let the right arm reach out. Let the torso settle. Breathe in nice and deep. Big breath in. And exhale, let the body melt. Couple more nice, slow, deep breaths. Gently drawing the right hand in front of you, right in front of that nose, and begin to slowly ease yourself up and out. Slowly bring the knees towards one another. If sitting back on your heels is comfortable, go ahead and sit back on those heels, or just find a seat on your hips on the floor. And just roll the shoulders up, back, and down a few times. Again, maybe closing the eyes, resting the hands. Notice where you feel the most intense sensation in this moment in your body. When you're ready, we'll go ahead. We're going to transition into dragon. So we're going to come back into tabletop. You may want to have some blocks and some of the bolsters handy out in front of you. We're going to keep the blanket right here on the floor so that we can keep the knee nice and supported and cushioned. We're going to draw the right knee forward first, getting those foot up here between the hands. Make your little adjustments so that the knee is nice and comfortable. We're coming into a low lunge here, this dragon posture. The first we're going to do is we're going to take the hands to the knee and we're going to lift up. We're going to lift the torso up, lifting up through the heart. Draw the belly in a little bit. Take a breath in and exhale. Let your hips sink. So we're thinking about letting this front hip flexor on the left leg find some opening here. We're going to hold this for about a minute. Let those hips sink, let the breath soften. Notice if you're starting to hold tension in the jaw and try to release. Soften the shoulders. And then from here, we're going to take a nice breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to release the hands, both of them, to the inside of that right foot. And we're just going to tick-tock the foot out a couple inches towards the right side of the mat. And you can support yourself on your hands here, but we're going to start to lower down. So here again, where we have our wonderful, incredible props that we can use, maybe lowering the forearms to a bolster or a block or a stack of towels or blankets. And we're just relaxing down inside that right thigh. Keep the gaze down at the floor here. You can even let the head and neck soften gently, letting the chin ease its way towards the chest. And we're going to be here for a couple minutes. So again, we're just moving to the edge of sensation here where you're feeling that resistance in your body. Breathe here. Eventually, you may feel a little bit more release and that invitation from your body to go deeper. But again, no forcing. Yin is about surrendering and allowing, following the wisdom of your body. Keep breathing. And I'm going to offer that you can either just stay here for another minute, or gently turn those right toes out about 45 degrees or a little bit less, and then rock onto the edge, baby toe edge of that right foot, and letting the knee fall out for a winged dragon here for the last minute or so of the practice of this pose. Remember, it's an option, not a have to. Listen to your body. Go ahead and take about 3 more breaths here. If you're in the winged dragon, we're going to return the sole of the foot to the floor. Slowly easing the back of the heart up. And then start to shift the hips back over that left knee. Hands are still on the inside of that foot. Draw the foot back into tabletop. Take a table here, and maybe a cat-cow might feel very nice. Make them slow. And when you're feeling ready, we'll go ahead and draw the left foot forward. Remember, we're always moving slowly in Yin. We're never in a rush to get where we're going. So just finding that place where you feel that you're ready, we'll go ahead and place the hands on the knee and rise the torso up. Again, lifting through the heart here. Drawing the belly in just a tiny bit. Take a breath in. And then exhale. Allow the weight of the hips to shift down and forward. Again, eyes can close here, or maybe just a soft gaze, keeping the eyelids a little heavy. Resting on a spot somewhere out in front of you. Stay with sensation with the breath. Notice where in your body your breath wants to go here. Relax. Another breath or two here. And then we'll slowly ease ourselves, placing the hands inside that left foot. And again, maybe we stay a little high at first. Take a couple breaths here. When you're feeling ready, beginning to lower down, bringing the heart forward towards the earth. Use whatever support you need. Find your edge. And then settle in. Breathe soft, slow, and steady. And allow the body in its own way to find release. No need to control, just allow. And breathe. So if you opted to take the winged dragon on the other side, we'll go ahead and we'll just turn those left toes out a bit, rocking onto that baby toe edge of that left foot and just letting the knee fall out a bit here. Easy, begin to flatten the foot in, drawing the knee back in and lifting up. Draw these hips back towards the back of the mat and draw that left knee back. We're going to bring the hands out and roll forward. Come onto the belly and find a Sphinx posture for a moment. Lifting the head, the neck, the heart, pressing into the elbows. And allow the front hip points to melt towards the earth. You can always gently sway the hips side to side a couple times. You can let the head and neck go here. maybe lengthening into the back of the neck. And breathe here for a few breaths. And again, just notice. Notice where you're feeling the most sensation. I'm just going to go ahead and gently lower the nose to the mat as you sweep the elbows out to the side, letting the hands draw back under those shoulders at your mid-rib and gently press yourself back up. We're going to come to seated. We'll do a couple seated postures here, and I certainly encourage you to keep a blanket underneath those hips. Sometimes one, sometimes two. Again, all on your own personal preference. So you want to bring those sit bones towards the edge of the blanket. Maybe rock side to side here and just feel those sit bones connect. Sit up nice and tall. So we're going to keep the knees here out. The legs are going to be in this loose diamond shape. We're going to come into what's called butterfly. So I like to take a small cushion. You can use a blanket underneath my outer edges, those baby toe edges of the feet or the ankles here. Coming to the edge. And you can definitely have a bolster or a block, something here to help support you. Again, use as many props throughout this practice. Even in dragon, I did not use a bolster or anything under my chest, but you're certainly welcome to do any of that in this practice. Please remember that. So to come into this beautiful little butterfly here, we're just going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to take a breath in, and we're first going to draw that navel towards the floor or towards the heels. And again, come into that edge, that place of resistance. And because this is yin, we're going to let the head and neck drape down, and we're going to dome into the back here. So, some of those forward folds are pretty tough, and remember, if coming forward doesn't take much for some people, you can always use the bolster, rest the head here. Again, stacks of blankets, stacks of towels here, and your blocks. Placing them maybe, and then coming forward and resting the head. So we want to try to come into a place where we can have that forehead resting on something, just to keep some comfort in the neck. But again, personal preference, not a have to. So just like in all the yin poses, we're going to take a big breath in, and we're going to exhale, we're going to lower down, finding that edge. Let the arms just rest out comfortably, and let those shoulders drape forward. Remember, as you stay connected to the breath and the body begins to release. Listen to that internal voice, the voice of the heart. And if you're invited to remove a prop and sink deeper, know you have that option to accept that invitation. We'll take about 3 more big, slow, deep breaths. On your inhalation, gently lift the forehead. Relax on the exhale, and on the next inhale, begin to slowly lift up and out of your butterfly. Please help those knees up and just sit here for a moment. It might feel nice to stretch the legs out, or whatever feels good for you. We're going to do one more seated pose. We're going to go ahead and take dragonfly. So if your legs are not extended out, go ahead and take them out in front of you. And then we're just going to widen the legs here. So I always like to say we're not Cirque du Soleil here. So we just take them as wide as we start to feel that sensation on those inner thighs here. And definitely gather up maybe a nice stack of pillows, towels, or bolsters, whatever you have handy. Again, sitting up on that blanket, having the hips elevated is so helpful here. Very supportive in this posture. Now sometimes the knees can be a little cranky here as we're opening up. And I would certainly suggest and offer that you keep a small cushion maybe under each knee. And that just helps. Sometimes it can feel a little tight on those real inner knees here. So I just want to provide that caution for you that if that's something that you feel, having support under the knees just a little bit is very, very helpful here. So it's once again a forward fold here. We're just going to inhale, just get nice and tall. And as we exhale, again, drawing the belly button forward, the heart forward, finding that edge. And believe me, it certainly doesn't take a lot to feel anything there, does it? And you can either support yourself here with forearms. I always really like to have that forehead supported somehow. So maybe you use some blocks or books. And go ahead and settle in here. Make that connection to your breath. Give yourself permission to completely release and let go. And trust your body to guide you. take 3 more breaths. Breathing in, slowly back out, and come back up to seated. Maybe a nice big breath here would feel nice. I'm going to place those hands, slide them under the backs of the thighs, and slowly bend the knees. Draw the legs in together slowly. Place those hands back behind you. Maybe bring the feet about a little bit wider than hip width distance and just gently, I'm going to just sway them side to side here. Wonderful. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and set aside some of the props other than what you might want for Shavasana. We're going to go onto the backs and we're going to go ahead and take a couple twists just to wring it out, and then we'll have a nice Shavasana. So I'm going to put a blanket behind me just to have some nice cushion behind my back. And gently ease yourself onto your backs, everyone. Maybe it might feel nice to just take a gentle stretch. Maybe starfish out for a moment. Just let your body relax back for a moment or two. And then go ahead and we'll just draw that right knee in and give it a little squeeze here. And then take the left hand and draw the right knee across your body over to the left. And take that right arm and just allow it to flower out and open. Let the shoulder, right shoulder, melt back towards the earth. Just come into this nice, beautiful spinal twist. As we take our next breath in, we're going to ease ourselves onto the back. And then extend that leg long. Other side. Draw that left knee in. Right hand guided across the body out to the right. Left hip lifts up and off the ground. And then that left arm flowers open and the shoulder melts back. Spinal twist on this side. Allow your gaze to find its own place using your own intuition. bring you onto your back once more. You can keep that knee in, draw the other knee up, and just give yourself a hug and maybe a gentle rock side to side, circling the hips and knees here. So take any gentle movement you feel called to make before we move into Shavasana. And begin to gather those props and get yourself set. Maybe some support under the knees to help ease the low back a bit. Maybe a little neck roll under the neck to support the curvature of your spine and the cervical area, and just schnoodle yourself up, blankets, whatever you need. When you find yourself finally adjusting into this most comfortable place where you're supported, take a big breath in and open your mouth and exhale and just let it all go. Soften all the muscles in your forehead. Allow them to melt back into the temples, encouraging the corners of your eyes to soften. Letting your eyes themselves fall away from the eyelids to rest back in their sockets. Soften your cheeks, your jaw. Relax your throat, your collarbones, encouraging the front of your shoulders to slightly open and melt back towards the earth. Releasing the tension in the shoulders and allowing it to drain down through the arms, into your palms and out your fingers. Come into your heart space and soften that area that surrounds your heart, and allow your chest to rest back onto your shoulder blades and the shoulder blades onto the earth. Relax your belly, all your internal organs softening. And notice the weight of your sacrum in the back of the pelvis, heavy on the ground beneath you. Let go of the gripping and the holding in the hips and allow all of that to drain down your thighs, over your knees, to the shins, your calves, through the ankles, to the feet and out your toes. Feel the entire body heavy, resting heavy here on the earth as the earth rises to hold and support you completely, so you can let go and just be and rest. please remember to honor what you need and stay here in your Shavasana as long as you need to. But if you are ready to slowly emerge, we'll take a big breath in. We'll exhale, let it go. Continue to take a couple deep breaths here. Invite that life energy into every cell of your body. And let that energy help guide you to bring gentle movement into the body wherever you feel called. When you're feeling ready, you will please draw one knee up and then the other. And gently roll onto the right side. To rest for a moment. And just notice. Notice how you feel in this moment. Notice what this practice brought into your being today. And as you're ready, gently pressing yourself back up. And finding a nice, comfortable seat. We'll all meet together, seated, closing the eyes, drawing our hands in front of our heart. And together we'll take one final breath to seal this practice. Let's inhale deeply. And open the mouth, exhale. Let's let it all go. Drawing fingertips up to our forehead so that our lives may be filled with peaceful thoughts. To our mouth for kind words. And back to the heart for loving action. And from my heart to yours, thank you so very much for sharing this beautiful yin practice with me today. The beautiful divine light within me sees that beautiful love, light inside of you. From my heart to yours, Namaste.